You ever have that mini panic when you can't find your keys, or you're trying to meet up with a friend in like a super busy station? Being able to say where things are is honestly one of the most useful skills you can learn in any language. So today we're going to build that skill from the ground up in Japanese.
It's a question we ask ourselves, what, a dozen times a day? Where is it? Well, in the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly how to ask and answer that in Japanese. Let's start by grabbing our essential toolkit. So, first up, we've got our core location words. Think of these as your essential toolkit. It all starts with just 8 fundamental words. Once you know these, you can pretty much describe where anything is in relation to something else. And what's great is how logical these are. You've got these really clear pairs of opposites. So ue is on, and its opposite, shita, is under. You have mae for front and ushiro for back. Easy enough, right? Then we've got naka for inside. Now, the last 3 are kind of interesting. Tonari means next to, and you'd usually use it for similar things like 2 houses side by side. Yoko is more general, just beside or to the side of. And chikaku is simply near. Okay, got those in your back pocket? Let's build a sentence.
All right, we've got the words. Now for the really fun part. Actually, building a sentence. Let's look at the Japanese formula for saying where any object is. The structure for this is so consistent, it's almost like a recipe. It's just a 4-step pattern. First, you start with your reference point, let's say the box, and you add the particle no. Think of no as making it possessive. So hako no is like the boxes. Step 2, you grab your location word, like ue, and follow it with the particle ni, which basically marks that spot. Third, you name the item itself, followed by the particle ga, which points it out as the subject. And you wrap it all up with the verb arimasu, which means to exist for objects. So let's see this in action. We'll start with our reference point, the box, hako no, then the location on top of it, ue ni. What are we looking for? The pen, so that's pen ga, and since a pen is an inanimate object, we finish with our verb, arimasu. Put it all together. Hako no ue ni pen ga arimasu. Literally, on the box, a pen exists. See, it just clicks into place.
Okay, ready to try a few? Let's test out this formula. How would you say a bag on a chair? Well, you start with the chair, right? Isu no ue ni kaban ga arimasu. Perfect. What about a watch in a bag? The reference point is the bag, so kaban no naka ni toke ga arimasu. And one more, a phone under a book. That would be hon no shita ni keitai ga arimasu. See? The pattern just works. Every single time. Now we get to something that is absolutely fascinating and totally crucial in Japanese. The language actually uses a different verb for to be or to exist, depending on whether you're talking about an object or a living thing. This is a huge rule, but it's really simple once you see it. So here's the breakdown. That verb we've been using, arimasu, that is strictly for inanimate objects. You know, things like pens, books, even a building like a bank. But for anything that's alive, people, animals, you name it, you have to switch to a different verb, imasu. It's a simple swap, but it makes all the difference in the world.
So how does this actually play out in the real world? Let's take a super common scenario, trying to describe what's on different floors of a building. This is the perfect place to test our new object versus people rule. Oh, and before we do that, here's the quick pro tip for you. When you're counting floors, the word for floor is kai, but there's a common exception, the 3rd floor. Instead of saying sankai, it's actually pronounced sangai. It's a tiny detail, but it'll make you sound way more natural. And here we can see that rule in action perfectly. If we want to say there's a bank, which is an object, on the 3rd floor, we use arimasu. Sangai ni ginko ga arimasu. But if we're talking about Mary, a person, on the 2nd floor, the verb has to switch. So it becomes nikai ni Mary-san ga imasu. It's that simple, but so important. Arimasu for the bank, imasu for Mary. Okay, we've got the words, we've got the sentence formula, and we've got that all-important verb rule. Let's put everything we've learned together now and describe a full scene with a few different people in it. And look at that, it's all working together. We're using our location words like tonari, mae, and ushido. We're using our sentence structure, putting the reference person first. And, most importantly, because we're talking about people, what verb are we using every single time? Imasu. This is how you start to paint a full picture with your words in Japanese. So there you have it, a whole system for describing location in Japanese. But, knowing this stuff is only half the battle. You have to use it. So, right now, look around you. How would you describe where your phone is or where your computer is? All of a sudden, your own room is your language lab. Go on. What's the first thing you can